Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coinwell International Coin Channel. And today we have the United States penny from 1968. We're going to focus on the S penny, but we're also going to look at the Philadelphia Mint penny, which doesn't have any P on it back in 1968, and the Denver Mint penny, which has the D on it. And we see this whole pile of them here, but there's a pile of them with other stuff on them. And that's because we're going to start with the back side of the 1968 penny. And let's kind of move this stuff aside. Let's magnify it up. And when we magnify it up, we see that this is the so-called Lincoln Memorial penny. The Lincoln Memorial penny first came out in 1959. Prior to that, they had these, what they called the wheat cents. So this is a United States 1 cent coin that they made until 1958. Let's see what year this is. This is a 55. And as you can see, it has the same image on the front, and that's that Victor David Brenner image. And you can tell it's the Victor David Brenner image on the front because way down in here, let's see if we can get it just right. You can see a V, a D, and a B. Right in there, right above the C. Just barely see it on this one, but there's a V, a D, and a B right along the collar here of this VDB, right above the top of my coin. So the Victor David Brenner was on the coin from 1909 forward. That's the front, the Lincoln cent, facing to the right. It says, "In God," wait a second. It says, "In God we trust" at the top. Lincoln facing to the right, Liberty behind him, the date in front of him, and then if there is a mint mark, it'll be down here. And then in 1959, they moved to the Lincoln Memorial cent from the wheat cent, or the wheat ears cent. And when they moved to the wheat ears cent, from the wheat ears cent, they had a new person design it because, of course, the wheat ears was designed before 1909, and the designer of this coin was none other than Frank Gasparo. And we can tell that because there's an F and a G here. So Frank Gasparo designed the reverse, or the Lincoln Memorial side of the Lincoln Memorial cent. And this coin essentially remained this way from 1959 until 1982. And the reason that it changed in 1982 was because in 1959 to 1982, they did not have the Philadelphia Mint mark on it. They only had either Denver or plain. And then this year, 1968, they actually came up with something different. We'll get to that in a minute. There was an S mint mark on the 1968, but it's not the San Francisco proof mint mark. It's the San Francisco mint mark, but it's not from the proof set probably. Look at the coloring on here. This is one of those coins, if it was in a little bit better condition with this kind of coloring, you can see the blues and the greens and the purples coming through. Just a real nice coin. This is a bronze coin, 95% copper, 5% zinc or tin. But let's get back to why I have this big stack of coins here all in a row. This one isn't even from the United States. Well, let's figure it out. This is Frank Gasparo right here, we said, right? The FG for Frank Gasparo, the engraver of the back of the Lincoln Memorial cent. Well, it turns out that Frank Gasparo also did the back of the Eisenhower dollar. And there's Eisenhower, 1974. This is a Denver 1974 Eisenhower dollar. So, of course, by then it was copper nickel clad copper. It wasn't silver. But right here, look at this. There's an FG. This is the famous eagle landing on the moon Eisenhower dollar image. We see the moon over the eagle's right shoulder, and we see the olive branch in his talons. It says United States of America $1 here, and then right there it says the FG for Frank Gasparo. So he designed engraved the back of this coin too, the Eisenhower dollar. They took Frank Gasparo's design from the Eisenhower dollar, and guess where they put it? They put it on the Susan B. Anthony dollar. So in 1979, when the Susan B. Anthony dollars came out, there's the eagle landing on the moon again. They just took his design wholesale from the Eisenhower dollar and stuck it on the Susan B. Anthony coin. Probably one of the reasons they're not so exciting or collectible. They also had him do the front, and you see on this one, there's the FG right there. Frank Gasparo did the front. Not one of his best engravings, I gotta say. And then he did the back, and they just took another of his engravings. But see what they did was, see the FG down here? So it was a redone engraving. See FG right under the eagle's feathers? And on this one, on the dollar, you see the FG down there too. It's quite a different setup. See, it kind of gets smushed in there on this $1 coin. And then, of course, you saw that I had the Philippine 1 peso coin. This is the Philippine 1 peso Jose Rizal coin from 1972, and you see it says República ng Pilipinas, or Pilipinas, Banco Central, Republic ng Pilipinas. This is their shield, 1972. The Central Bank of the Philippines produces this coin, and again, it's a copper nickel coin. But this is a Frank Gasparo design too, and I didn't know that, but I said something about to one of the people that when I was making the video, I said, hey, doesn't the Kennedy half look a lot like the Philippine 1 peso? And they said, yeah, of course it does, because they share a designer. And I said, well, who's the designer? Because this is Gilroy Roberts. You see the GL underneath Kennedy's neck here, the GR, I'm sorry, Gilroy Roberts. But Frank Gasparo did do the back of this coin. So there's the Frank Gasparo reverse of the Kennedy $half, and there's the FG right there, the eagle shield holding the arrows and holding the olive branches on this side, and the 13 stars here. So anyways, Frank Gasparo did the $half for Kennedy, and then they brought him to the Philippines, and he actually engraved this coin also. And this one's really, really hard to see, but we'll magnify it, and you can see an F and a G right there, right above my pen. See that? FG. Frank Gasparo did this coin, and what he did was he took a kind of Gilroy Roberts-like look at Jose Rizal, a great hero of the Philippines, of Philippine independence, and he kind of took Gilroy Roberts' vision and created his own version of the one peso coin for Jose Rizal. So there we go. So we have the FG here, and one more time through. Let's get the angle just right so you can see it. Right above the tip of my coin there. There's a, yeah, now you can see, there we go, right there, FG, Frank Gasparo. Then we have the Frank Gasparo on the Susan B, and we can see the Frank Gasparo right there. Then we have the Frank Gasparo FG on the Eisenhower dollar right there. And then we have the Frank Gasparo on the Kennedy half right there. And then, of course, we have the Frank Gasparo on the Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin. And let's magnify that, and you got your FG right there. So, when you're looking at these 1968 coins, here's what you want to think about, and that is that they had 3 different mint marks. And let's see if we can find all 3. Let's see what this one is. Oh, that's a really dirty one, isn't it? That's a D, so we don't want that one. There's a S. Okay, so we have an S. And see the S here for San Francisco Mint? Now, a lot of people, collectors, modern collectors say, well, that's got to be a proof set coin. And it's not, because for a few years, they actually struck, from 68 to 74, they put an S mint mark on many circulating coins. And see, that's a 1970, so we don't want that one. Let's find a 68. So there's a 70 S mint mark. So from 68 until 74, so this is a 70. We'll get kicked out. That one gets out because we only want the 68s. We have the 68S, 68D, 68D, and the 68 plain. We'll take the dirty D out and we'll just have all three. So now you can see all three mint marks at the same time. Really nice kind of colors on this coin. And so the Lincoln Memorial Cent from 1968, they made it in three versions. They did actually do a fourth, and it's really, really hard to get the mint set from 1968. But there's something interesting. If you get this coin right here, the 1968S, if you get this in MS65, it's worth $10 in the coin book, the U.S. Coin Digest. This coin, if it's MS65, it's worth $10, which means it was a circulating coin that came out. If it's a proof coin, it's worth $4.50 in the Coin Digest. And if it's this particular coin right here, and it's a 1968 circulating S coin, we're not talking about very much money at all. In fact, we're really talking about probably 9 cents or so. So this 1968 S penny or 1 cent coin is worth about 10 plus cents, say. The 68D is worth about 5 cents, and the 68 plain is worth about 5 cents in the shape that these are in. Now, how many did they make? Well, the 68 plain, which is Philadelphia, they made 1.7 billion. The 68D, they made 2.9 billion. And the 68S from San Francisco, they made 258.3 billion. And the proof sets from 1968, they made, remember, no silver in the proof sets in 1968. They made 3 million proof sets. So proof set, they only made 3 million, but this particular coin right here, the 68S, this one, they made 258 million, or a $250 million. So between the three of these, they made 4 billion pennies or 1 cent coins in 1968. So, all right, so we had our little Frank Gasparo view. We've had our 1968 penny view, and we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.